on the ferry boat, taking about an hour ride across the Sea of Marmara to visit Büyükada, one of the 9 islands that are considered the Prince's Islands off of the coast of Istanbul. The houses here are some of the most beautiful examples of wooden homes in Istanbul. Please come to this island. Please check out this beautiful ambiance and stroll around some of the most romantic streets you'll ever see. Splendid Palace was built in 1908. This building was actually built originally as a hotel, and it is one of the only hotels in Istanbul that is as it was built originally. Today I have the great pleasure of being together with the 5th generation of management and owners here, Serra Hamamcıoğlu Taşkent. She's going to tell us a little bit about the secrets of this hotel. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. Very nice meeting you.
You have a big job here to protect such a valuable asset.
Yes, I call myself the caretaker.
Yeah.
When they ask my job description, I just take care of the building. The management is actually done by a professional team. As a family, we just try to guard the hotel and keep it as it is.
I think there's a misconception that people always assume that they need to stay in Istanbul and visit the islands, when in fact you can stay in the islands and visit Istanbul. I think if it was backwards, you actually have a more relaxing vacation, because if you came here to, from another country, you get to enjoy kind of the natural and more authentic and untouched, unspoiled, romantic feeling of the islands, and go to the madness of the city and see all of the history and come back, because it's really only an hour, and it's a lot of fun to ride on the ferry or to take a private boat, because you get the entire silhouette of Istanbul on the way. So it's like a 2-for-1.
We as islanders think that way as well, and we don't think that island should be visited for just a day or a couple of hours, because you don't get the feeling of the island if you do that. You only get the feeling of traveling from one part of Istanbul to another. But if you get onto that ferry and you take that ride to the island, you come to a different world. It's not a part of Istanbul. It has no cars. It has the most beautiful architectural houses. It has a different botanical structure. It has many beautiful flowers and gardens. And even the people on the island, who live on the island, are different.
Yeah. Each island has its own character too. I mean,
each island has its own character.
If you come to Büyükada, it's not the same as Heybeli or Kınalıada. They are all definitely originals.
Yes, and Büyükada among them is the most beautiful one.
Of course, it's
well,
the
every
biggest.
islander will tell their island is the most beautiful, but our island is architecture-wise much more beautiful than the others.
Well, there's a lot more to see here, a lot
Yes,
more to do.
and experience.
This is what experiences should be like. They leave a mark on you, and Büyükada, I have to say, it's a magical place. It's literally like going backwards in time, and it's just so picturesque. And
It's one of a kind.
It is. I've never ever seen anything like this in the world. I've traveled quite a lot. This is an original place, I mean, for the entire world, not just for Turkey. Well, this is a magical place. You have an amazing building that is obviously being taken care of really well. I commend you and your entire team for all of your hard work, because I think keeping pieces of history alive for generations to come is a big responsibility, and you have done a splendid job. And I'm in the splendid palace. Thank you, Sarah, so much. We are at the top of Büyükada. This is the pinnacle, and we are in front of the Ayayorgi Church. Ayayorgi's church is known to make dreams come true. You will, on your way up the hill, you will notice that many people have tied red string or white pieces of cloth to the trees, and the reason they do this is to make their wishes come true. These are all people's wishes. You can come here on the 23rd April. It's the name day of the Yorgis, and it's considered to be a holy day when many pilgrims from the Christian community come here to tie these wishes to the trees. If you come here any other day, don't worry. They have a wish box inside, so be prepared. Write your wishes down before and make sure you drop them into the wish box in hopes of making your wishes come true. Upon exiting the Ayayorgi Church, you're going to be looking upon some of the most beautiful views of Istanbul from afar. Inside of this view, you're probably going to notice a very large wooden structure in the forest behind me. This is the Greek orphanage of Büyükada. This orphanage was built in 1898 and designed by the French Ottoman architect Alexander Volieri. It's 20,000 square meters in size, the largest wooden structure in Europe, the second largest in the world. It was originally built as a hotel or casino by the company that ran the Orient Express. Over time, it was donated to the Patriarch of Constantinople and served as an orphanage. During its time, it has served the needs of almost 6,000 orphans. This island is full of unbelievable information because it actually has a history dating back almost 300 years. This fossil replica behind me was found off of the coast here on Büyükada, and this is only the beginning of the story. There's so much to discover. I can't wait to see what else we've got. The museum is full of a vast amount of different objects, a lot of interactive multimedia presentations, pictures, and pretty much anything you could possibly think of. One of the things that I love the most, though, is that it talks about the architecture here, which is something that all of us love because the Victorian houses here are just so beautiful. It's really nice to find out what the story is behind each and every one of them. The museum points out the religious diversity and traditions and rituals, both in garments, foods, all kinds of things. This island is a mix of so many different cultures, and each and every one of them have been pointed out here. Selam. Ay, bir tane alabilir miyim? Of. One of everybody's most favorite things to do when they come to the islands is eat lokma. Now, what is lokma? First of all, it's a little teeny tiny bite, which is what lokma means, bite size. But what it really is fried pastry covered in a syrup, and it is delicious. This is also a traditional street food, and you can pretty much find it anywhere, but some of the best lokma are on the island. Crispy, yummy dough. Covered in sugar. Syrup. My favorite. Büyük alayım mı ben? Gotta have more. Çok teşekkür ediyorum. After spending the day exploring this beautiful island, the best way to end your day is with a sunset that will take your breath away. When you're on the island, you're going to have lots of opportunities to eat many, many different types of food, both internationally and Turkish. But the best thing to eat when you're on this island is meze and seafood. And this is the place to do it because we are going to see the sunset of a lifetime here in Büyükada, only in Türkiye.